Why not just say that your drug of choice is Meghan Markle? Order, order, order. This book is at the center of this Harry immigration case. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. As you can imagine, I have been dying to give you an update on this matter, Harry's immigration case. Is he going to be deported or not? Well, like I said, it's all about despair, what he should not have done in his past, and we're going to get into it right now. The Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank, is suing the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, because they said that they allowed Harry to enter the United States on a false application, specifically about his substance abuse. The Homeland Security allowed Harry into the United States when he lied on his forms, is what they're saying, and they want the files released. They want the DHS to let us look at what Harry really said. Did he lie? Did he not lie? Then if he did not lie and say that he is a substance abuser, then was he given special privilege? It's so interesting because I thought this case was done and dusted and that everything was private. This is private files. This is private application that no one can look at. And then all of a sudden they have come back up and got their hearing. Now, the whole issue, according to the Heritage Foundation, is Harry really a private person? We know he's on a worldwide privacy tour.
We want privacy! We want privacy!
But in this book, he revealed some very disgusting, upsetting things about his substance abuse. Therefore, if he can release it here, why can't he release it in files for the judge to see and everyone to see and see what's going on? The Heritage Foundation says Harry undermined his right to privacy by telling everyone every aspect of his private life. The DHS is now firing back, saying, well, what was said in the book isn't necessarily true because he didn't say it under oath. Well, let me ask you something, girl. If you purchased this book, which I did under duress, I must say, so I should be at the front of any class action lawsuit to get back our monies. Just a little bit about me. I purchased this book under duress because I did it to get a ticket to the Dr. Gabor Maté interview, which I did a video on, and I had to purchase the book. I had to purchase it through the Dr. Gabor Maté ticket sales. This was not a fiction book that I purchased. I purchased a biography or autobiography. So what do you mean? It's exaggerated. It's not true. He didn't say it under oath. Therefore, what are you saying? That's not what we thought we purchased. There's a picture of Harry as a child on the back. This is supposed to be his real life. I'm going to get into what he said, but let's just talk about the case that happened on Friday. It was a hearing in Washington, D.C. So yes, we're back in America, girls. The procedure goes like this.
The way this works, for people who are unfamiliar with a court proceeding, is that both sides prepare documents that they send to the judge in advance, called briefs or declarations. And so the judge reads those, and then the judge comes into court and he has a set of questions that he has prepared in his mind, but he also gives the attorneys on each side an opportunity to speak about their view of the case and to just sort of provide a summary. And what invariably happens is that they get about a sentence and a half in, and the judge interrupts them and says, I just had a question. I wanted to ask you about something. And that's sort of what happened here. You don't get to just stand up and give a speech like you're in debate club. You have to answer the judge's questions, or if the judge says, well, that doesn't make sense to me, or I want to go back to something you said a minute ago, then you're pretty much obligated to do that.
It has already been reported that the judge during the hearing on Friday was very well prepared. And in fact, the Heritage Foundation saw that as a win for them as well, because finally somebody was taking them seriously. They were getting disregarded the whole time. Well, it's Harry's private information, his private application, and so on. And so for once, they felt like, oh, the judge is taking this seriously. In fact, the judge took this so seriously that he said that he didn't want to refer to Prince Harry as Prince Harry. He thought that was too informal. He said it was likened to him being referred to as Judge Carl when he's Judge Nichols. He's Judge Carl Nichols, okay? And so he wants to be referring to Prince Harry during this matter as the Duke of Sussex or the Duke.
The attorneys both agreed, well, Duke of Sussex is fine. And so he was referred to as the Duke of Sussex or just the Duke for the remainder of the proceedings.
So you already see that he's being very formal. He's being very matter of fact about this whole thing. Now, as for counsel, they were very different in their preparedness for this matter. The Heritage Foundation, who is the one saying, give me the records, I want to see what he lied about, was very well prepared. They came with a whole team of attorneys, girl. They had documents, dockets, and laptops and information and research and everything they came with. On the other hand, the Department of Homeland Security, which is the people who gave Harry the visa, they came with nothing. They did not came with a piece of paper. They did not came with a laptop. They had nothing, which was quite shocking to those who were there in the courtroom because they were like, hello, are they here or they're not here? It's giving arrogant. The judge decided there were 3 red flags after all that he had read. So number 1, Harry came in on a diplomatic visa and shouldn't have. The judge is saying this is unlikely because the royal family would not have allowed that to be issued since he was no longer a working royal. True. Second red flag, Harry came in and lied on the form saying he did not have a history of substance abuse when he may have. And they are arguing over the semantics of the words abuse and use. According to the names of the substances, which Harry named in his book, if you have taken those substances, it is abuse. So let's stop talking about use, casual use. It's abuse. He's an abuser. Number 3, red flag. He admitted abuse, but went through a waiver hearing at the American Embassy in London, where they said, we'll just let this slide. And then he got into the United States based on that waiver. The judge is saying that it's also highly unlikely that they would have allowed that. Bear in mind, the judge has not seen this document, which is the document in question, where it says here, are you or have you ever been a drug abuser or addict? Yes or no? Explain. Have you ever violated or engaged in conspiracy to violate any law relating to controlled substances? And it's a yes or no question. So it's quite damning if you lie about that. It's a yes or no. You can explain, of course, but wonder what the explanation would be on that. So the judge is saying, I have not looked at this form. I would like to probably look at this form. I will let you know in the next week or 2. The judge is saying, if I will look at this form, and I didn't want to look at it before because I didn't want to have any unconscious bias or whatever, subconscious or unconscious bias.
There is a huge level of unconscious bias.
But I will probably need to look at it now, he's saying, and then he will come out with a decision. There's this aspect of it that's very interesting to me. And it's another thing that Harry probably should not have done. One thing he should not have done was sidled up to the Democratic Party, going to New York and hanging out with all those people. She was trying to take Gavin Newsom's job, the governor of California. She was girl trying to wait at Dianne Feinstein's deathbed. They were saying that she would take Dianne Feinstein's job before the woman even passed away. Meghan is very greedy. She couldn't just get the Spotify, the Netflix. She couldn't just keep trying to harass all the celebrities in Hollywood to become a celebrity that she never was and she never knew how to be. She couldn't just be happy doing all of that stuff to keep her busy. Plus she has, children, a life, houses to purchase and all. She's so greedy that she actually tried to get into politics, which is something the royal family has never done. And it backfired. Because now this conservative aligning think tank is like, we want to know if the other political party did something wrong. That's what we do. That's what they do. And by the way, I must say that I was very impressed by Mr. Dewey, who is the lawyer for the Heritage Foundation, because he did a little press conference after court. He looks like a mess. I'm not gonna lie.
This is a discretionary judgment by the government that, no, we're not going to release anything.
But I loved how he talked. He was really invested in it. I mean, you can see that he's a professional and that he does this all the time, which is why it came back up again. They're not letting this go. And for the Heritage Foundation, it's not about Harry, whether he stays in Montecito, whether he wants to be in America or an American. That's not what they're really interested in. What they're interested in is if the Biden administration has done something untoward that they can use against him in the political season that's coming up. That's really what it's about. And unfortunately, Meghan led Harry into this dark place where he's now being scrutinized. They're trying to shut them down because of what Meghan did. She did not have to go political with this. Well, it's come back to bite you.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
Another thing that's come back to bite Harry would be his comments in Spare about his substance abuse. And now they're saying that he just made it up it was exaggerated for the purposes of selling a book. Who does that serve? All of those detailed accounts, who does that serve? For him to talk so frivolously about trying this and this made him feel this way and that way, that other people felt that way and this way, and it is what it is. People felt good, some people felt bad. I think that's very dangerous. He wants to be a humanitarian. He wants to be a role model. He, by the way, has kids that are watching you. One-time experience with these substances can kill people on the spot. In fact, I remember that the week that Harry released Spare and talked about these things in Spare, there was a young girl that OD'd in the UK on one of these substances. I'm sorry, I get very emotional about this. How can he come out here and influence people like this? I said, in fact, there should be some kind of parental warning, like how they put on music albums that talk about these things. Do not read if you're under the age of XYZ. I'm just going to bring it home by saying exactly what he did say. The Duke wrote in Spare that didn't do anything for me when he took a line, age 17. Is different. That actually really did help me, the 39-year-old wrote. After taking magic, Harry said he started hallucinating and thought a bin in a bathroom was staring at him before growing a head. Why not just say that your drug of choice is Meghan Markle? The Heritage Foundation is saying no one should be above the law when it comes to applying for immigration status in the United States. And that's why Mr. Dewey, holding a copy of the memoir Spare, said that the government was providing special treatment to celebrities to enter the United States of America. The Duke's admissions make him inadmissible. And he did it for a cash grab. We all know that. We know that Harry did this to make money. I've got a lot of questions from you, which I'm going to do another video on. I think I'm going to do a little Q&A with you on the questions that you have messaged me, emailed me, and also put in the comments. But just a little teaser, I would have to say that Harry, I almost feel like he needs to go back to his family. If he is saying that he will help out doing royal duties while his father is ill and so on, I think that is really Harry throwing in the towel at this point. I think he realizes that he can no longer present awards in America talking about, rugby versus football. He can no longer give interviews where he's like he has marbles in his mouth. Like, he gives the worst interviews. He's not comfortable. He's realized that this Hollywood that Meghan talked about is really not that easy to conquer, with or without titles at this point. I think the best thing for him to do is to be Baker acted by his family in the UK. I think what Britney Spears had is a conservatorship, or it could be called sectioned, I think, in the UK as well. Something like that should happen to him just for his own protection. Unfortunately, he's been led down the wrong path and it's not working out for him. The writing is on the walls, at this point for him. As for Meghan, I do wish her the best, as we always do. I think I should put that on a t-shirt. We wish her the best, as always. I think she should continue to fail upwards, or whatever she's doing, continue to go on her podcast, Lemonade, or whatever it's called. Let her continue to realize that she does not have what it takes to be what she thinks she should be. And yeah, we'll be here to watch it and watch the downfall, because you know why? She's done a lot of very atrocious things. She has really damaged a lot of people that did not deserve it. And at this point, it is only just that she continue to pursue her failures and that we sit here and enjoy it. She looks like hell nowadays. It is all wearing on her. It is all telling on her. So let it be. Court is now adjourned. Give me my money back, for this is not an autobiography, which is what I bought it as. It is a fiction novel. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to me. I love you all so much. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It helps my algorithm, as you know. And we are heading for the 100K. So let's get to 100K subscribers. Sorry, my wig. Yes, subscribe to this video if you like this video and you want to see more from me. I love you. Bye.